Hi, my name is Gerald Watson, and welcome back to You're on the Money with ERC Financing. I had a client that had a large government contractor. These guys are doing about $20 million a year in the DC area, and they filed, and their ERC refund was approximately $2.5 million. They got bank financing, $500,000 line, in good standing, no cash flow issues, and really didn't need the money any sooner. So they figured, well, listen, what's the purpose of, getting financing when we don't need it for cash flow purposes? And so the discussion, the answer to that question, discussion we had was the opportunity costs, of taking that advance. In other words, the question I posed to them, if you had those proceeds now, how could you use them to generate even more money or more yield for the business? As it winds up, they were actually looking at making an acquisition of another company. Acquisition cost is 1.5, somewhere in that range. And they were looking at raising the money, borrowing the money, putting together the money to cover that cost. The ERC refund, even though it's $2.5 million, is coming in over time in pieces over at least a year. However, by getting in advance, they get the money in a lump sum right now, and they're in a position now to affect that acquisition within a matter of weeks. So for them, it made sense to take a look at. Another client, which was in the merchandising business, and for them, they're continually buying inventory to turn over, because the key is, many of you know who are in retail, turning over your inventory, no matter what it is. The more times you can turn that inventory, the more money you can make. And oftentimes there's opportunities to buy, but you got to have the additional cash to do so, right? When you got really favorable terms. What these guys elected to do, and again, they had great cash flow. They didn't really need it for day-to-day operating purposes, but they elected to use the proceeds from an ERC advance, because now that put them in position to put that money into inventory, and the gross profit that they made on those from the use of those funds was a lot greater than the cost of borrowing. So for them, it made sense. So here's the point. Look at your situation. Look at the opportunity cost. What's the cost of getting in advance, and what's the opportunity cost you can get if you do? Any questions on that? You'd like to discuss that further, feel free to reach out. My name is Gerald Watson. You're on the money, ERT Financing. Thank you so much. Look forward to talking to you soon.